I think Rhode Island is a small state and has a limited population. I believe it's around 1 million people. So I think that a place like Rocky Point touched everybody's life in the state to some degree. Uh, Due to the amount of employees that we had there through the years, I think that everybody in Rhode Island either worked at one time at Rocky Point or has a close relative or friend that worked at Rocky Point. Rocky Point was basically um, a big fish in a little pond. Provided a lot of entertainment. Um, People went there often, so I can understand through that why people would be still so interested in Rocky Point. The park closed because it was simply over leveraged for the wrong reasons, and just couldn't take in the money in order to support the debt that was placed on it. The park continued to profit uh, until the end of 1994. What the park could not do was overcome the burdens that had been placed on it for unrelated businesses that the stockholders owned. One, it would cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $60 million or more in order to replace a Rocky Point type of facility. I would venture to say that if you purchase used equipment, which is very feasible, and there's a lot of it out there, but if you purchase used equipment and if you watch the budget correctly, it would be in the neighborhood of at least $60 million. In order to create a park the size and with the entertainment that Rocky Point provided. And that's just not sustainable. And you wouldn't be able to get enough people through the access roads. The access roads have not gotten any better or able to handle any more people since that time of Rocky Point's closing. The other thing is you would have to have a lot of buy-in from the city council, which would be the general feeling of all the neighbors in that area. So you'd need the city council to buy into it. You'd need the mayor's office to buy into it, plus a lot of countless other things. It's also in a residential only zoning, which it's always been in, but because it was there so long, it had a grandfather clause, which allowed it to operate. But it is still in a residential zoning, so I don't know how the zoning board would rule on that. You've got a couple of $1 million worth of environmental cleanup that you'd have to be able to invest in there. And then you've got, basically, it's not a glamorous side to talk about, but you have to get a system in there to properly take out the wastewater and the sewerage, which does not exist at Rocky Point at this time. It was one of our main items that we had to contend with and keep working on. And to this day, there is no sewer at Rocky Point. It's all independent cesspool systems, which I do not think would be authorized by the DEM under the rules and regulations. So you would have to invest a substantial amount of money to put a couple of pumping stations in there and repipe everything and somehow get it up to Warwick Neck Avenue where it could tap into a private sewer line. I think there's a lot of things that can be done on that land. In my opinion, I don't think you're ever going to see another Rocky Point type facility there, but there are certainly a number of recreational items that could be put in the park and that would not cause a glut of traffic on the existing streets and wouldn't interfere with anybody. And I think you can make it both a passive and a participatory type of facility, and it would do a lot for the residents of Rhode Island, but it just can't be the type of facility that would draw 10,000 people in a day. It would have to be a facility that was limited in the amount of people it would draw per day. But I definitely think that there are things that could be done there that would please the people and not hamper the city or the residents.